Man, some of you guys get the notifications quick. Like Delaney Wright. I almost said White, but I caught myself quick enough. Yeah, just doing an update on Hania. I'm not sure if you say Hania or Hania or Hania Aguilar. I've heard people say it two different ways on TV, so I don't know. I've always said Hania. Okay, now I don't know which one I said first or second. Sorry. But yeah, I've got a bunch of live streams that we can take a look at from before. And if anything comes breaking during the show, make sure to put the link in there. YouTube Streets. Watch and see. Like Sonia. I got back on my older music. Kind of missed it a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to start playing some of these lives that people did. Now, I thought I had isolated the actual crime scene earlier, but it turns out they placed fire trucks blocking a road, and they were about 2 miles apart where they blocked. So that's all we can do is sort of narrow it down in between that, unless something's come forward. But I have the street names of where each of the fire trucks were parked, where they were blocking. But I don't have the specific location because it's somewhere in between. You remember in the Molly Tibbetts case, right, where I think they were blocking off a couple different areas, and it was somewhere in between. I don't remember it specifically, but I remember thinking that during that case. Alright, so here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Steve Daniels, live in the ABC 11 Eyewitness News Breaking News Center right now. We wanted to stream live on abc11.com right now and on Facebook to bring you the latest in the search for Hania Aguilar. We now have Chopper 11 HD flying over Robeson County. This is off Wiregrass Road. You can see we have our street spotter from Chopper 11 HD fired up there, and you can see police vehicles right there. A little hard to see, but you can see the headlights right there. The news that is breaking right now is that a body has been discovered there on Wiregrass.
So one thing we do know is that here's Wiregrass Road, and then it's off of Wiregrass Road. There must be another road here, or maybe it's a field. We can't really tell because it's too dark.
Road. The FBI points out there has not been an identification of that body yet. What they are telling us is this is in the area where they have been searching for 13-year-old Hania Aguilar, who, as you know, was kidnapped from her front yard in Lumberton about 3 weeks ago. The FBI is piecing it together for us like this right now. This is what we know.
It sounds like the family already knows it's her. It'd be really strange to be looking in that exact area that they were looking for her and then just find another body, unless whoever killed or whoever they question kills multiple people and dumps them in a similar location. That's about the only angle that would make that work.
From their investigators on the scene there. They say that they were out following leads in connection with the disappearance, the kidnapping, the search for Hania Aguilar, and that led them to this location, and that's where this body was discovered at 4:45 this afternoon. But again, it is very important to point out that
there's a whole bunch of roads next to Wiregrass Road. Okay, I've already got, let me just show you this so I don't keep going back and forth. So here's Wiregrass Road. I got the purple on there. These two locations right here, this pin on Pinewood and Wiregrass, and then Tiffany Avenue that becomes Fire Tower Road. So if you zoom in on this like this, this is Fire Tower Road, and then this is Tiffany. So it kind of, Tiffany Lane is pretty, looks like dirt almost, right? And then Fire Tower Road is right there. Now, two of the lives that we're going to see, they have a fire truck right here blocking this direction. And then if you go all the way over to this part, there's another fire truck right here blocking cars from going this way. Now, if I was to look at this and say, well, usually they do it where it's in the middle, right? Well, look, there's a pond right here. That's in the middle, basically. You got this one, a pond, and right here. I mean, that would be a pretty good spot, right? You maybe take her back there, try to bury her in the water. Who knows, right? But that's kind of what, that's all we have so far, unless somebody else has come forward with more specific information. We don't even know on that helicopter footage that we're watching what the north-south orientation is. All right? So here we go.
That there has not been a positive identification made yet.
And this was this was 4 hours ago.
Let me show you some video from our ground crew on the scene as well. We have a breaking news crew there on the scene. They've set up roadblocks now. These are checkpoints there along Wiregrass Road. They have this area blocked off to traffic as this investigation continues. And as we've been seeing from Chopper 11 HD, there are a number of law enforcement vehicles there in this area, this rural area outside Lumberton in Robeson County. That's the view from our crew on the scene, our crew asking questions, working right now to get the very latest details from the Robeson County Sheriff's Office, Lumberton Police, and the FBI and the SBI, all of whom are on the scene right now for this investigation, and they have been there, focused on this in the disappearance of Hania Aguilar for the past 3 weeks. Let's show you a map where this is unfolding as we zoom down here from the triangle into Lumberton.
Hey, look at they drew the same thing.
That's Wiregrass Road there. and this is very interesting because last week the FBI put out a plea for hunters, for deer hunters in that area and on a couple of other roadways near there to look at their video camera devices, their recording devices that deer hunters often have to see what kind of wildlife action there is in their area there. They wanted them to go back and take a look at those recording devices to see if they saw anything that might help them locate Hania. That is the map where this is happening. And let's just bring you up to speed on that investigation. As you know, the 13-year-old you see right here 3 weeks ago was warming up the family's SUV in front of their house in Lumberton when eyewitnesses say a man got in that car and kidnapped her. The car, that SUV you see right there,
yeah, I guess there was an arrest earlier today of somebody in the area, and I guess they were arrested today, I think. I didn't really read all the way into that, but the charges, there was something like kidnapping. Oh, yeah, this person had tried to assault somebody else and had a mask on or something on their head or something. Okay, yeah, so it wasn't today. But he had like a mask on and, maybe the guy was associated with it somehow. We don't really know for sure. Nobody actually has an article yet that says, yes, this is the guy. I've heard that same name that YouTube Streets is saying, but we don't know for sure. We'll have to wait.
It was found a short time later on Quincy Drive, right there, but the mystery has remained. Who is that kidnapper, and where is Hania? Then over the weekend, the FBI put out a new plea for help. They showed us pictures of these distinctive Adidas tennis shoes they believe Hania was wearing in hopes that someone might know something about those tennis shoes. May have seen them dumped somewhere, may have seen them in a donation bin, may have seen Hania wearing them, and that would lead to her as well. So that brings us up to where we are right now. And again, Chopper 11 HD is flying over Wiregrass Road right now, where this investigation continues, where authorities say they found a body this afternoon in the area where Hania went missing. Let me read to you, just so that you have this really word for word.
So this is one of those, the helicopter HUD system where it actually puts the road on the screen for them and you can record it. But it's not sticking. I've seen a lot better ones than this one. This one's bouncing all around. And if you compare the movement of the line to these vehicles, it's not doing a very good job keeping it lined up. Maybe because it's dark outside. I don't know.
Directly from the FBI. They sent us this information. They say FBI agents and Lumberton police detectives found a body in an area off Wiregrass Road in Robeson County about 4:45 this afternoon. The body has not been positively identified, but investigators with the FBI, Lumberton PD, the SBI, and the Robeson County Sheriff's Office were following leads related to the search for 13-year-old Hania Aguilar when the discovery was made. Out of an abundance of caution, investigators have notified Hania's family, but they say again from the FBI, no confirmation has been made of the identity of the body found. The FBI says please continue to pray for Hania and her family and each other as the investigation continues to find out who kidnapped Hania and to hold them responsible.
Denise.
So that is the very latest right now. I wanted to give you this view from Chopper 11 HD. It's really our best way, despite the darkness, to see exactly what is unfolding there on Wiregrass Road. And as I pointed out from our ground crew, you could see those two roadblocks. So they're checkpoints, roadblocks where they have Wiregrass Road shut down right now. They don't want any traffic there.
I don't see anything on Facebook.
This is what really caught the eye of our crew right now in Chopper 11 HD. These law enforcement vehicles, you can see them there on the side of Wiregrass Road where this investigation is underway. Again, they found that, made the discovery of those human remains shortly before sundown. So presumably they had enough light at that point to begin their investigation and understand exactly what they were dealing with. Very often in these kinds of situations, we see them bring out lighting systems, and we see them bring out generator-powered lighting, but no sign of that right now. Just a few headlights from those law enforcement vehicles. So that is what we're following right now. We're in between newscasts here on ABC 11.
There's the link.
And we thought it was important to stream this live on ABC11.com. Bring this to you on our digital platforms right now so that you could understand what we're working on here in the Breaking News Center and with our crews on the scene. Again, the headline we are following right now: a body has been discovered there on Wiregrass Road outside Lumberton in Robeson County, in the area where 13-year-old Hania Aguilar was kidnapped. And it was, in fact, leads, according to the FBI, investigators were following that led them to that area where a body was discovered at 4:45 this afternoon. But again, no positive identification has been made. Our crews are there working it. We'll be updating you here on ABC11.com and all of our platforms through the evening and on Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock. We'll see you then.
All right, bud. See you there. All right, so this is what Teresa just sent me a minute ago. All right, let's see. And you're sending me, what am I getting from what you're sending me, Teresa? What am I, before I go into this, what am I getting out of this article that you sent? I just put it in the front of the line, so to speak. Yeah, I, you know, 1 in 1,000, this isn't her, right? It's her. Hello? Is Teresa out there? I just want to know what I'm looking for in this article. Okay, I'll just figure out what it... Let's see. A large law enforcement presence in Robeson County has residents questioning what's going on. Okay, Wiregrass Road. A few people who live in the area of the scene say dozens of police and deputies responded. Yep, we know that part. The FBI released a statement Tuesday saying the body has not been positively identified, but investigators with the FBI, Lumberton Police Department, the SBI, and the Robeson County Sheriff's Office were following leads related to the search for the 13-year-old Hania Aguilar when the discovery was made. Right, but what are you sending me the articles for? What are they? How are they different? That's what I'm trying to figure out, Teresa. You kind of I had something all planned, but I jumped yours in front because it sounded like you were really in a hurry to send it to me. Was there anything new in them? Out of an abundance of caution, investigators have notified Hania's family, but again, no confirmation has been made of the identity of the body found. Please continue to pray for Hania, her family, and each other, and the investigation continues to find out who kidnapped Hania and hold them responsible. No, that was it. Okay. Investigators say it's going to be her, right? If it's not, I'll be shocked, because this isn't the same as other cases we've talked about. Like there was in the Cheryl Coker case, there was a body 10 miles away, and it seemed like it could be her. I was thinking, well, it could be her, but nobody was looking there for her, so it takes away the odds of it. It was just a body somebody found like 10 miles away, right? This is a place that law enforcement was actually looking for her. They were on the ground looking around, and her body was found, or a body was found, and the odds of it not being her are very, very low. I don't even know who you're talking about. It can be Abby. Let's see. 2 mics away. Is there another person missing named Abby? Maybe I don't know about that one. Oh, no, it's not going to be Abby Patterson. No chance. They would have immediately ruled out Hania like in 2 seconds. Because if it was Abby Patterson, it would be absolute skeleton and barely anything left. Because that was a year and a half ago. Hania was 3 weeks ago. They would have said, okay, based on decomposition, it's not her. That's what I think. I mean, anything's possible, right? Maybe Abby Patterson was kept alive in some remote shack and killed just 3 weeks ago randomly, and the decomposition's the same. What is Whataburger? Never heard of it. Is that a new sandwich shop? Yeah, lots of random comments in here that are kind of distracting from the flow. They're all over the place. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just get back to what I was going to do originally. Here we go. Here's another one. This one's just... I know exactly where this is already. I like Bob's Big Boy. That was a good one. Alright, so I think there used to be a tree right here but it's been blown down in the storms, because I know exactly where this house is. And we all know that Lumberton's had some pretty severe weather as well, and I think that house is right here on this. I believe it's this one, but let's just make sure here. Yeah. So see this? That house right there? Now, I don't know if you can still see this tree there anymore, but it almost looks like they still have the Santa Claus up there, doesn't it? It's crazy. So you go back to that website, see right there, and then you've got the pylons, the triangle shaped roof there, and then right here is that side road. So originally I had thought that so that road's right there. That photo's probably taken from like right over here. That's why I don't think that tree's still there anymore. It's probably like taken from right there. And I thought maybe the crime scene was down this road here, but then I thought, well, then why would they block the road 2 miles in that direction? That wouldn't make any sense, right? So you've got the fire truck here and the fire truck there. This fire truck is on Tiffany Avenue and Fire Tower Road. This was one of them too. So it's somewhere between these two locations. Now, strategically, I'm trying to figure out why would they block here. Well, maybe that's because that's kind of a main road with a lot of homes that would drive up. They want to make sure nobody goes this way. But why not just be right there, you know? Or, heck, just block it to here. I don't understand why there's a 2-mile blockage. It's a little strange. I mean, this is 39 minutes of this, so I'm not going to play it all. Okay, it moved. Ooh, it moved a little bit. See, me and Daro, we were on a Facebook page saying, turn it to the right, turn it to the right. Because we were, at the time, we thought the crime scene was down to the right there. But the person with the camera, if they were watching, were probably saying, why? There's nothing there. All right, I'm going to get to some of these actual interviews here. So here's somebody doing a live out there. Really grainy stuff. If you were following the Kanika Jenkins case, this person right here would be a 3D animated character, obviously edited into the video because of how grainy it is. Oh, with the technology they have today, how could they dare have something that's so blurry? Well, it's called poor internet reception with very bad pixelation going on. Yeah, Lumberton is a joke, okay? And I'm sorry for any of you who live there, but it's an embarrassment to the entire country, really.
Hey everyone, it's Casey Cunningham. I just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know what we're hearing out here. I want to make sure you can hear me okay. I think I'm going to grab a microphone.
That's a good idea, yeah. Get a mic.
Okay, bear with me for just a second as it's a little louder than I thought out there, so I'm going to grab a microphone and plug you guys in.
Can you guys hear that?
Hold on just a sec. Okay. There's a fire truck out here, so I wanted to make sure to throw this on. Okay, thanks for bearing with me for a second. There's a fire truck out here blocking off part of the road, so I wanted to make sure that I put this microphone on so you guys could hear me okay. We are out here in Lumberton where the FBI, SBI, Lumberton PD, there are a lot of police agencies out here after a body was discovered off of Wiregrass Road. So if you can see behind me, there's police lights over here. There is a fire truck over here. There are officers from the Robeson County Sheriff's Office, and they're out here blocking off Wiregrass Road. We are told about 2.5 miles of this road is blocked off, and somewhere in between that is where a body was discovered. We are not sure the identity. 2.5 miles of this road is blocked off.
Hey, that's exactly what I found. Hey, look at this, look at this. See, that's what I was saying. Here it is. 2.5 miles. Let's measure this, watch. From right here. It's 2.38 miles, right? Because this is exactly where both of the fire engines are that are blocking the stretch of the road. So it's kind of cool to actually hear her say the same thing on her live show right here. Hold on, let me.
road. We are told about 2.5 miles of this road is blocked off, and somewhere in between that is where a body was discovered.
And that's where the pond is.
We are not sure the identity of this person. I can tell you that the FBI told us out of an abundance of caution, they have notified Hania Aguilar's family and let them know about this discovery. Investigators were following leads out here in this area when they discovered this body. So again, there are a lot of questions right now.
You're investigating leads and then you find a body.
I can tell you, as we came through Lumberton today and spoke with some people.
I mean, I can totally buy that they've arrested somebody and that person spilled the beans. Because if you remember the Zoe Campos case, how all of a sudden, man, they're going out to this house, they're digging in the yard, they found a bone that wasn't human the first time, but then they went back because they already had the guy. Well, they used the fake bone, well, not a fake bone, the bone that didn't belong to a human, as a weapon against the Rodriguez guy. They said, hey, we found a bone. Where's the rest of it? He goes, well, it was over here. So he went out to the house and helped them find, and they found the entire skeletal remains of Zoe Campos. All right? So it seems like if the FBI went out there on an investigative lead and literally stumbled upon a body, that they would have had to have really, really specific information from an individual. So maybe I'll go with what YouTube Streets is saying.
Everyone is really holding out hope that Hania Aguilar will still be...
Oh, but by the way, when YouTube Streets above said that the, strong and proud, come on. Listen, if you live in Lumberton, you can't be proud of Lumberton, all right? Lumberton is a joke. It's an embarrassment to literally mankind, all right? So I know that there's people in there that, you got law enforcement, you got all this going on, but just, you know what I would do? I would surround Lumberton, send in special forces for about 2 weeks, just let them go to town, no media, nothing, clean it all up, and then start over again. It's absolutely ludicrous there.
Return safely home, and it's a tough scene out here because there's still so many questions. So again, about 2.5 miles of this road is blocked off.
What's wrong with Lumberton? Jeez, where the hell have you been,
across
Herb?
the street and show you where exactly we are. Sorry it's so dark. So this is where we are. We're at Fire Tower.
Yeah, the thing is about Abby Patterson. Yeah, she's missing and everything. I care more about the other bodies. A lot of you probably don't remember, but I mean, most of you do because you follow the channel. But there's probably some new people here that haven't followed. But a young lady named Abby Patterson. I'm gonna quickly go over this right now, just so you guys can all see it. You can see, look how dense my Google Earth map is with crap from Lumberton. All right, everything that you see, pins and everything here, are something related to a crime, okay? And Lumberton doesn't have a lot of people in it. But let me just tell you this part right here for the newbies out here. So Abby Patterson went missing. Let's see. She was right here at her mother's. Let me get rid of these streets, man. Every time there are the places. I think that's the one. Yeah. So right here, Abby Patterson was here, and she went missing. And then people go, wow, are they associated with the other women in Lumberton? And I was like, what are you talking about? So I looked it up, and then I was like, who cares about Abby Patterson at this point? Look at this crazy scenario here. Wow, they actually have 3D buildings now there. That didn't used to have it like that when I would go on in here. I'm going to switch it to a different map here. Yeah, let's do it like this. All right. So on April 18th, 2017, a year and a half ago, Christina Bennett's body was found inside of this house, in an abandoned house. And then during the search around where she was found, they found another body in a trash bin right over here, and that was Rhonda Jones. Okay? Then the news showed up and were doing interviews, and there was a girl named Megan Oxendine who was standing right here in the interview. And in that interview, she said how she was friends with Rhonda Jones, and why would somebody do something to her? Then, 6 weeks after that, Megan Oxendine, who we have video of, we've seen it, she was found dead right here at the end of the street, right down here, or further down the street here. Then her friend, Cynthia Jacobs, who was the last person to have seen Megan Oxendine alive, went missing. And she's never been found so far. Okay? So when people say, hey, what's wrong with Lumberton? Well, I mean, look at this. And then there's, if you follow this road out, there's another death there and another death. I mean, there's just death everywhere. Like just on this one street alone. If you do have to move to Lumberton for some reason, for God's sakes, do not move to Peachtree Street, okay? If you can pick one street to not live on, don't live on that one. Okay, now just down the road, not too long after all this, there was another murder. But look, it's right there. But these two were deemed unrelated to these. So you're looking like there's like 8 dead people in a little tiny area. Maybe not 8, but 5, 6. That's a lot. There's another guy shot over here. The whole town is an embarrassment. Okay, so I don't know how to fix something like that, but like I said, surround the whole town. No media coverage. Put in like special ops and just clean house. It'd be cool if you could put a dome over it so people can't get out. I mean, I'm speaking tongue-in-cheek here, okay, guys? Don't go, well, did you hear what Gray said? He was really... All right. So this is why Lumberton is nuts. Somebody told me this girl was missing from Lumberton, and I thought, well, it's not really related to the... Well, because it probably isn't. The girl that got kidnapped, Hania, that we're talking about, she probably has nothing to do with any of this other stuff. It just shows you the magnitude of a town. Nobody's even heard of Lumberton except for these kinds of things, right? And then it came up again during the hurricane they just had. I was thinking to myself, as did so many other people, that when the waters started to rise in that town, you'd probably have all these bodies floating around and not new ones, not ones from the storm. We're talking about there's so many bodies in that town that they just start floating around because they hadn't been found yet. All right, back to the video.
And Wiregrass Road. You guys might have heard about Wiregrass Road before because this is an area where investigators were asking folks, hey, if you have surveillance in this area, if you can keep your eyes open off Wiregrass Road, that would be really helpful in this search. So tonight we are back out here after, a body was discovered in this area. So this stretch behind here, so this is where investigators are blocking off. This goes about 2.5 miles in this direction, and it's blocked off on the other side. And somewhere in between there, in between that area, is where a body was discovered. So we're out here gathering information, trying to find out more information about, what's going on. There's a lot of law enforcement out here, state troopers. We have Robeson County Sheriff's Office, fire departments out here. So we are still trying to figure out what exactly is going on. But again, Lumberton is a tough community, and they're still holding out hope that Hania is found safely. So I wanted to fill you guys in on what we heard. We're going to be updating you 10 and 11 tonight, and we just were on a little earlier, but we're going to updating you every few minutes with what we know. I know Angela says, please keep us all updated. This is home, and it's affected a lot of people here worrying and praying. Angela, I hear you, and I'm so sorry for what this community has been going through in these past couple of weeks. I just know it's been so tough, and there's been so many questions. I know I find myself, doing all sorts of research and trying to figure out what exactly happened, and still so many questions. And I just can't imagine what her family's going through right now, and just what they must be feeling. So if you're just tuning in, thank you guys for joining us. I wanted to update you with what we know so far. We're out here on Wiregrass Road. Investigators were following leads in the search for Hania Aguilar when they discovered a body in this area. Here's what we don't know. The identity of the body. You know, we don't know how the body was discovered. We don't know who it is. We don't know where exactly this person was discovered, but we know it was somewhere in this Wiregrass Road area.
Yeah, 2.5 mile
Wiregrass. This is Wiregrass out here, very rural area. You can see over here is a field behind me, just complete darkness behind me. Over here on Wiregrass
Lumberton makes
Road
Chicago look like a walk in the park.
There are some investigators behind me, officers blocking off this road. About 2.5 miles in the other direction,
Per
the
capita.
road is blocked off on the other side. So we know that somewhere between here and 2.5 miles in that direction on Wiregrass, someone was discovered, and that's what investigators are looking into. The FBI has told us, out of an abundance of caution, that's the exact words they're using. I want to make sure I get that right because that's important. Out of an abundance of caution, they have notified Hania Aguilar's family. Still a lot of questions. We don't know who exactly this is, and we're getting a lot of questions too. Like, to my Facebook page, I know a lot of people have reached out. Is this her? Is this her? We don't know. We don't know, and I can tell you, the community of Lumberton is still praying and holding out hope. I know this story has affected and impacted so many people across the country who are holding out hope and praying that this is not this 13-year-old girl. I'm going to catch up on your comments here. Jennifer says my daughter's the same age. I know, it's just hit home for so many people.
I'm about to get
Catherine, a male or
a
female,
migraine
we don't
looking
know.
at the
We
blinking.
don't know the age or the identity of this body that was discovered, but we do know it was discovered out here on Wiregrass Road. Ivy, the road name is Wiregrass.
You know what was cool is Daro. You can see Daro's comments over here on the side. She kept plugging my YouTube channel. It worked too. There was people that were subscribing. She was like, "Hey, you guys should come over." You can see it in the live over here on the right. You guys should go check out Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. I bet there's some people in here right now that are from that.
And we're at the intersection on the other side of Wiregrass Road over here, off of Fire Tower
Hey,
Road.
everybody, Jim Nething's
If that road name is
buffering.
familiar to you, that's because you might have noticed that the FBI, if someone could tell me when it's getting close to 10, or if someone could drop the...
Yeah, the cool thing is she did it so casually, too. It's like she was putting out helpful information. And then she said, "Oh, by the way, did you get..."
the time in there, that would be great. I've got to hop off and get on TV soon, but I want to make sure I'm filling you guys in as much as I can. So out here on Wiregrass Road,
I'm not dropping
again,
any
2.5
frames,
miles
so
in
I
this
don't
direction.
know what the deal is for you guys.
Behind here, and
But I just lost to talking
where,
about it.
where this body was discovered. A lot of questions, though. We're not sure who this is. We don't know male or female. Cassandra says there's a big pond at that area.
Yeah, we did
off.
videos on that days and days ago. On the suspect.
Haven't, in terms of like the geography of this area, I've just seen it's very rural and there's a lot of land.
I actually don't think that the guy in the hoodie has anything to do with her disappearance. It didn't seem like he didn't match the description at all. Because they said the guy was wearing all black with a yellow bandana, but then you have this guy walking with gray, he just nothing he was wearing matched anything that the witnesses saw who took Hania, right?
And out here, 9:30. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Monica said, I didn't know Lumberton to be that bad at all. Tangi says, I've been praying so much for her. Still someone's loved one or child. I know. And that's the tough thing about this, because you're saying, you know, we're all saying, oh my gosh, we're praying and we're just holding out hope that this is not her, but you know, this is someone that passed away, and it's just a tragedy.
Gosh, I don't know. Maybe somewhere in Chicago in a Detroit.
Thank you so much.
Detroit's like a
so
ghost
if you're
town.
just tuning in, I want to try and catch you up to
some
speed
areas. It's
about
crazy.
what's been going on. We got some information earlier into our newsroom that around 4:45 today, a body was discovered out here in Lumberton. Investigators, FBI, SBI, Lumberton police, they were following leads in regards to the search for Hania Aguilar, and that brought them to this area. They discovered a body. We don't know who this person is. There is a lot of questions about who that is, and we don't know. You know, investigators aren't saying, and the person hasn't been identified yet. Krista, the FBI says there will not be a news conference, but they said that may change. So as of now, we're told we're going to be hearing no official information, at least in the near future. That may change. That changes though minute to minute. So we really don't know. Marcus says, don't go off assumptions. Absolutely, Marcus. We can only go off kind of the facts right now.
Yeah, I agree with
which
that.
is,
the facts show that that's probably 99% going to be Hania.
You know, just that investigators discovered a body in this
allow
area.
us to speculate that.
Lauren, we don't know what this
but
person
yes,
looks like,
you're the
or
news.
who they
You can't
are.
even do that. So good for you. You're not CNN.
Amanda, we will be updating this story as we gather more information. But in terms of official information, I believe that the FBI said as of tonight they don't plan on holding any news conferences, but that may change. So I'll keep you guys posted. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, another tough story.
Yeah. So let me get to. Let's go over the Hania case again. So Hania, she actually lived back in here. See, it isn't like she was just right here and somebody, oh wow, they could hear a car running, so they went over here. She literally was way back into the mobile home complex. I mean, not way back. She wasn't back here, but you know, you're a street or so back. And this is the location. I've seen it on the news. We compared it. It's the exact place. I think it's this house right here. This one, right there. So I think that's the house. So the car was out here starting. But how did there just happen to be a guy with nefarious intentions right there? Doesn't that seem weird? See, it almost seems like she may have met somebody. It's very similar in a way to the Jamie Kloss case, because there's things that don't make sense. I mean, yes, sometimes weird things just happen, and timing and all of that, and it's just what it is. It is what it is, type of thing. But look, so just visualize in your head here. There's a car running right here, and somehow somebody with bad intentions happened to be within a certain range of here that they could get to the car and then abduct somebody. That part doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Yeah, well, something just crossed my mind, but forget it. Now, the guy with the hoodie on, he lived over in this area, apparently. Or we don't know if he lived there, but he was walking up this street and started walking this direction. And he was actually filmed all the way over here at one point on that surveillance footage. So that shows that he was walking in that direction. But that doesn't really mean anything. We don't even know what time it was. We don't know anything. He didn't have any of the same clothing on. I mean, he could have walked this way and walked up here, but why would he walk up here and then just, again, miraculously be there when there's a car being started? It almost feels like to me that somebody in this mobile park, I don't know how long the car was running, but maybe they said, hey, there's this car running here. There's a girl sitting in there. And then somebody from a little bit of ways got over there really quick. I don't know. Maybe from a deeper part of the trailer park. Maybe somebody... It just... You guys know what I'm saying, all right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But it would make more sense if it was somebody she knew, some guy that said, hey, you just get the car running, I'll come get you. But it was this guy had bad intentions, but she thought he was going to be fun or something. You know, maybe there's that angle. I'd love to finally get to know how this actually happened. And after she was abducted, the car slowly drove this way, took a left, and then headed out in this direction. All right? And we have this all mapped out. We, as a group of freaks, as we call ourselves, figured this all out. So the SUV was found... Let's see. Where is that damn thing? Oh, there's SUV found. That makes sense. Okay, so she was abducted here. Then when the car went out, it turned left. So it's weird a little bit that the SUV was dumped over here somewhere. Let me get that location now. Okay, it was quite a bit further out. Okay, so the car drove this direction, and then the SUV was found all the way over here. And it was kind of interesting finding the location of the SUV because of the... there was a house here at one time, and it's not there currently. And I'll show you that. So this is the location of a drone footage, I believe, or maybe it was helicopter, I can't remember, but you can barely see the SUV down here, the arrows pointing at it. We didn't have this yet, though. We had already determined where the SUV was found prior to even seeing that image right there. And there's the SUV in the field, and that happens to be right here. Now, interestingly, if you go back in time, here, watch. Just keep looking right here where this pin is. Watch. I don't know what year it is, but there it is. See, now there's a house right there. So in 2014, there was a house. And if you go to Street View, that house is still there. So that's what was confusing about it, because the Street View is old, and I was looking at it going, well, that doesn't make any sense. There's a house. But you always got to remember that on Google Earth, things change, right? So there's a house there right then, and if you move forward, there's no house, and the SUV was parked right there. And they did a lot of searching around. Hey, Hakeem Rahim. Thank you. Let's see. So the SUV was found there. And look how close this road is. Let me get the name of the road again. I've already forgot. Yeah, Wiregrass Road. It's not far away from where the SUV was found. As a matter of fact, I think this distance here is shorter than the amount of road. Yeah, 2.16 miles to this road, and that's even a shorter distance to what they have blocked off right here, which is 2.38. Difficult to be precise, though, as Spock would say. And then Kirk would say, difficult to be precise. You said 2.38. It was a little bit, the episode I'm referring to had a hell of a lot more than that to it, though. Yeah, I don't know, Jason. I think Lumberton's just sort of a forgotten town of some sort. Just literally, it's like the worst of the worst. I mean, I followed it. There was another murder there not too long ago, too. And a girl was just found right in this little culvert. I wonder if I could find that. Where the hell was that one? So here's Lumberton. Ashley Nicole Smith murdered. Was that her? I think this might be one. Yeah, maybe it's a different one. I think that's where she might have lived. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many, it's hard to find them now, you know? And then just a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about this Rita Maynard lady who lived right here and then was found decomposed in a abandoned house right here. See? She was found in this abandoned home. And it's weird, you know, you got normal houses, everybody looks kind of normal. Oh, but this one's abandoned, and then there's a dead body in it. If I had lived in Lumberton, if I was the police in Lumberton, I would literally take every single person and go to every abandoned home in the entire city, and I bet you'd find 7 or 8 bodies. Yeah, we went over all that, Phoebe. We talked about that whole thing. We've gone over that 1,000 times on this channel. Yeah, Megan Oxendine. Yep. And I even just did the whole thing about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, Peachtree Lane. Yep. I'm just reading some of the comments over here. Yeah, saw some pretty interesting information on another YouTuber out there. It was pretty funny. I don't know if you guys saw it, but you'll have to go check it. Find it yourself. Another YouTuber that was covering the Chris Watts case. Yeah, Oxendine's a really common name in that area, apparently. I had never heard of it before her, but in that area, it's Oxendine's like Johnson. Hey Phoebe, I go quick on here. I learned all my auctioneer skills. Hey, now look at that. You go to Lumberton down on Peachtree Street. Megan Oxendine right there. Rhonda Jones on the. You know, I'm pretty quick. Wish I could remember where that other person was. There's actually, you can see the culvert in the water where she was found. Is this it? Oh yeah, this is it. Lauren Holmes, Sunday, March 31st, 2013, went missing on Easter. Or maybe this is when they found her. And then they found her body floating around in this little culvert right here. You know, just right there in the water. And they haven't found who killed that person yet. Alright? And see, this is just all part of the same, just in this area. Let's see. What happened to Crystal? I can't see anything. Yeah, it was 7 or 8 Cherokee Indian rather. Yeah, there's a lot of crime and deaths going on the Indian reservations. A lot of missing women. Yeah. I'm gonna have a hard time getting caught up on what Crystal was saying. I see. Okay. That sucks. Sorry about that. Hey, thanks, J. Richard Canuck. Did I say that right? Yeah. Yeah, well, Lumberton is the Lumbee Indians, right? Right. It almost kind of is a reservation in a way, right? All right, I'm going to switch over. There was one more video on here. Oh, this guy was pretty good.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
See, he even let you know that he was going to take the camera off of selfie mode. All right? And again, the Kanika Jenkins case people who didn't realize that you got to take off selfie mode when the camera was flipped to everybody else, or when you're doing selfie mode, you got to flip it horizontally.
WMBF News reporter Patrick Lloyd here. Right now I am live at the scene in Robeson County where officials say a body has been found this evening. I want to turn around and show you what exactly is going on here so that you can get a better idea of what we're looking at here. I'm going to flip the camera around here. And you can see right here, there's a Robeson County Sheriff's Office, car right here. Big vehicle there with the red lights flashing there, and they have blocked this road off. I'm going to come on over here so that you can see.
Thanks, Sarah Beth Colagras. I like that name.
2 times in one day. Thanks for the great coverage, Gray.
You're welcome.
A little bit more. And there's not a lot of light out here, so it's a little bit hard to see, but you can see the traffic cones are in the way there. We've got officials over here. And again, if you are just joining, this is the scene where officials say a body has been found here in Robeson County. This is on Wiregrass Road. Yeah, so to give you an idea of where I am here, you see this, you see the sign.
See, Tiffany.
Wiregrass Road.
And Tiffany Street.
This is at the intersection of Wiregrass Road and Tiffany Avenue. Also, it looks like it says Fire Tower Road right there. So let me go back to the scene here. For those of you who are just now joining,
see, he's at this one right here.
News that we've been following over the last couple of hours here. Officials say a body has been found here in Robeson County. This is Wiregrass Road. At this time, officials have not identified the body. They have not made a positive identification, but the FBI says that they did come across this body when they were following leads related to the disappearance of Hania Aguilar, the 13-year-old who went missing a little more than 3 weeks ago in Lumberton. So, again, if you're just joining here, this is in Robeson County on Wiregrass Road. This is a live look at the scene where a body has been found. This road is being blocked off right now by a fire truck.
It's weird that they would block off that much distance, 2.5 miles. 2.38 to be exact.
Hard to see out here because it's dark, but that road is blocked off for a good bit down there. Again, officials say that a body has been found here, but there's been no identification of that body. This is in the area near where 13-year-old Hania Aguilar went missing 3 weeks ago. But again, officials have not confirmed whether it is her. It could be anyone right now, for all we know. We're still waiting from the FBI and other officials to hear about who this body is and whether it may or may not be Hania Aguilar, 13-year-old, the missing 13-year-old from the Lumberton area. So again, Patrick Lloyd here with WMBF News. If you're just now joining, I'm
Patrick
giving you a live
Lloyd.
look at the scene right now in Robeson County where officials say a body has been found. If you don't know the backstory behind
101.
13-year-old Hania Aguilar, again, just want to make it very clear here. We do not know whether this body is Hania Aguilar's, but we do know that this is in the area where she went missing 3 weeks ago. Justin says, where is where? Good question, Justin. This is in Robeson County. This is on Wiregrass Road at the intersection of Fire Tower Road and Wiregrass Road in Robeson County. Again, this is not far from where 13-year-old Hania Aguilar went missing 3 weeks ago. But if you don't know the backstory behind that 13-year-old
So it's
Hania Aguilar was
Tiffany
waiting
and
outside her
Fire
home
Tower.
to go to school.
Fire Tower, Tiffany.
3 weeks ago, when officials say somebody snatched her up, took her away in a car, and nobody's seen Hania Aguilar since then. The FBI has been following leads for 3 weeks now, hoping to find her. They've been spreading the hashtag Find Hania.
I have a feeling in the morning they'll get back out there with a helicopter, and then I'll easily be able to find the location. I would have easily been able to do it if they had gotten up there a little earlier on that first clip that we were watching. It was completely dark out, but you could see the cars off of Wire Tower? Man, all these different names. But yeah, it was off of that. So had it been clear, I could see it. I tried to take an image and then change the contrast, and I could kind of make out a little bit more detail, but it wasn't enough.
For 3 weeks again. Really a sad story out here in the Robeson County and Lumberton area, but again, I can't stress enough that we do not know for sure whether this body is hers. Nobody has made any official ID of this body. So for now, what we do have confirmed is that a body has been found here in Robeson County. Again, I see a lot of people just joining right now, so I'm going to turn around here and I'm going to flip the camera so that you can see the scene here of what we're looking at.
So that's just what it did at Kanika's party. You hit the button.
Looks like a sheriff's office car.
Or Irene's party.
It's making its way down that road.
On Ty's video. Okay.
Again, this is the scene right here, Robeson County Sheriff's Office car right here. We've got officials out here at the scene making sure that this road stays blocked off. There's a fire truck in the middle of the road right there. Again, a body has been found out here in Robeson County. A good portion of this road is being blocked off right now. This is Wiregrass Road. No identification of that body right now, though. No identification of that body. We have no idea who that body belongs to. So this is what we're looking at here out at the scene. Again, Wiregrass Road here in Robeson County. This is not far from where 13-year-old Hania Aguilar went missing 3 weeks ago now. I believe it was 3 weeks and 1 day to be exact. Again, if you don't know the backstory, 13-year-old Hania Aguilar was waiting to go to school, waiting right outside her home, when officials say somebody snatched her up, drove her away. And again, the FBI has been looking into this case for every single day since it happened. Been following as many leads as they can get. They've gotten a lot of leads, and they have
I don't even know what
that they
Burness
were
is.
following a lead related to the disappearance of Hania when they found this body. Again, we don't know for sure if this body is Hania's, but they found the body while they were searching.
Yeah,
for
Lumberton's
leads.
the
They were
most dangerous
following leads
town in North Carolina.
during that case.
I want to see where it is in the country.
So again, it's pretty dark out here. This road and really this whole area is not lit very well, but we're giving you a look of what we can see here. For those of you who might live out here,
Yeah, there's
just
not
to give you an idea of where
100,000
it is,
in
it's
Lumberton.
near Proctorville Baptist Church, as you can see from the sign there. Again, this is Wiregrass Road at the intersection of Wiregrass Road and
Wiregrass
Tiffany
Road.
Avenue. in Robeson County.
Is it?
We are going to keep you updated with the very latest as it becomes available. As soon as we know the identification of that body, we will get that to you. Again, a story that many of you have been following here, the disappearance of 13-year-old Hania Aguilar. We don't know whether this body is hers, but we do know that officials were following leads related to her disappearance when they found this body. Again, we're going to keep you updated with the latest as it becomes available for this story. Be sure to tune in tonight to WMBF News at 11 for all of the latest information regarding this case, and we're going to continue to stay out here and make sure we get to the bottom of what happened and keep you informed as far as what happened. Thank you.
No, thank you. Oh yeah, and Dara was on that one too, I think. I can't remember which one she was on, but two of them. What's this link right here? Is this something new? Oh, crime rate in Lumberton. Look at that. Had a great year in 2013, man. And then went from 13 per 100,000 to 50. And then this only goes to 2016, but and that was murders. Rapes, that's dropped a little bit because they always end up being a murder now. So it's like a rape and a murder, you know. Lots of robberies. Yeah, it's just not really a great place. Let's not kid around. Oh, that's right. Michael Jordan's dad. That's right. What I gotta ask is this: what the hell was Michael Jordan's dad doing anywhere within 1,000 miles of Lumberton? I mean, I know that Michael Jordan, maybe, I don't know if he was born in North Carolina. I know he played for North Carolina basketball team. But I want to know why Michael Jordan's dad was anywhere near Lumberton. Jim Nething. Yep, pretty crazy, huh? I didn't even really realize that Lumberton's where he died. I remember when it happened. Didn't he get shot by somebody? Yeah. God. Yeah, I got to tell you, a thing that what's really bad not to have is a hobby. You know, something that you actually have something like if you play in the NBA or football or you win the lottery or whatever, and you have all this money, when you're done, have something really interesting to do with yourself. It's just sort of the bored mind that ends up doing drugs. Do something. You know, do something that's interesting. Well, I think that's about it for my updates. I don't really have any more update on this one. Does anybody want to... We could do a call-in if you want. We can talk about it. Oh, and by the way, in the case of the Thomas Bruce, the Catholic store barbarian killer guy, how they arrested him was that just prior to him killing and, you know, putting those 3 women in that room and then shooting one in the head because she wouldn't perform the sex acts, and then having the other 2 perform the sex acts. Just before that, he had left his business card in a restaurant or something with his name on it. Just before that. gave it to somebody. So when they went back and canvassed and said, "Hey, do you guys remember a guy? He had kind of a golf hat on, blue jacket." They went, "Oh yeah, he was just here. He handed me this card." And then they were just so easily were able to find the guy. Yeah, it's always that one little thing. Other than that, the guy got away with it, right? Like he was there and he escaped and he was all the way home and he just didn't. He screwed up on that one thing. Yeah, he definitely didn't do the 101 class on the case, right? Although we think it's 101 because we're laughing. Yeah, exactly. Him and Chris Watts could share notes on. But if he turns out to be related to Abby and Libby, you know, he did get away with that for a long time. And he would have got away with this one for a long time, I bet, had he not, because there was no surveillance at the mall. He'd gotten rid of his clothes. They only found him because he left his card there. You know, they might have found him a different way, but it might have taken a while. You mean when I say Jim Nething? Jim Nething! Yeah, I always say that, yeah. And Audra Blankenship. And now I have to say, what's the other one? Just a second. I like Sarah Beth Colagrass. Come on, that's kind of cool sounding. Sounds like a lawyer or something. A bigwig of some sort, maybe. Oh, I do? How do people say it sometimes? Well, we could try doing, let me hook up a phone line, see if anybody wants to call in. I could probably do this for a half hour or something. Gotta go watch some Ray Donovan. I just caught up on last season, and then I just watched the first episode of this season. And no, I don't want to hear anything about it. Don't even say, "Oh, it's really good, Gray, it's really good." Don't want to hear it. Let's see. There you go. Whoever wants to call in on any of these cases, go ahead and do it. That would be fantastic. If not, no big deal. We've already been on here for, what, an hour and 15, 20 minutes. And no, I want new callers. I want callers to call in if it has something to do with us, not just to keep the show going. All right. Give it 3 minutes. Well, why don't you call, Crystal? Yeah. Jim Nething's always the guinea pig, where when nobody calls, he calls in. Even though we always have fun, he calls in because, you know, that's funny. I should probably call myself. I could do it. I could do that conversation.
Hey, Gray, is it possible that, an alien put the body down in that area over there?
Let's see. Yes, this is Gray. You're on the air.
Yeah, hey Gray, how you doing?
Pretty good. Is this who's this? I can't remember. Who is
Richard,
this?
yeah.
Yes, Richard. See, I almost said it, but I didn't want to say it and be wrong.
Yeah.
So.
You had it. Yeah.
Boom.
And I'm the Richard Canick guy who's been making a few small donations. Canick is my last name. It's you're close.
Oh,
though.
kind of. Oh, wait. Oh, Canick. Okay. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
appreciate that. Thank you. I didn't know that was
a
you.
hard one. Yeah, just had some time. I had some illness in the family, so I've been out of touch for a while. But
Oh, I'm saying Canuck, right?
yeah, a lot of,
Canuck. Okay,
I get that too. The people think I'm from Canada.
yeah,
You know, the
right,
Canadian.
right.
And
A Canuck. Are you a Canucks fan?
Canuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a Canuck fan actually. I like the Canucks.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. I was reading this on the Thomas Bruce case,
Mm-hmm.
where the police chief there in St. Louis said that this was one of the most heinous crimes he's seen in 32 years or something in law enforcement,
Yeah.
and that it shocked the senses.
Right.
Now, I understand that she was shot in the head, and that the other two women were raped, but those, I mean, I'm not downplaying those kind of crimes. Those are horrible, but what would you think would make it so heinous? Because it was in a Catholic bookstore, or?
Well, there might be other things that we don't know about, but I was thinking that, I mean, here you got this guy who goes into a store where there's women, then he leaves, gets a gun, and then he has them all undress, and then he tries to forces them to all do, I think, sex acts on them at the same time, and then one of them, refused, and then he shoots her in the head, all right? I mean, we don't know what the extra, yeah, I get what you're saying, but, maybe the small town, they're like, oh, we don't see stuff like this, so... but it also sounded a lot like what they said in the Delphi case, right? Where they said, this is something, out of nightmares. Something nightmares are made of.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah,
maybe there's more to it.
You made the point earlier. Right. You made the point earlier that, there's probably, it's not the hat and the coat, but that there's something that we don't know about, that they know about, that, maybe it's some ritualistic thing where he cut them. I've been just reading all kinds of wild things over the months,
Yeah.
and I don't like to speculate, but apparently, from what he did with the girls in Delphi, they said it would just, your stomach would just turn, and that's kind of, this police chief saying that this was one of the most heinous he's seen in 32 years. It just kind of strikes me like he might have done something that really connected it to those two girls or something, that they're keeping quiet. So I was getting to try to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I don't know what the thing is that made him say that. I mean, a lot of times they just haven't seen murders, so you might say that, but it did sound like it was extraordinary, and the story itself is extraordinary.
Yeah.
You don't hear that too often. You hear somebody being abducted or, swiped off the side of the road while they're jogging, but you don't have somebody that brazen that goes into just a little shop in a strip mall, of all places, in the middle of the day, where there's people walking around, and you go in there and you corral three women in there, have them take their clothes off, and then you blow one's brains out, and then you leave. And you actually literally make it home. Nobody saw you or anything, except for the fact that you left your business card at one of the restaurants.
Right. It's always one of those little things.
Yeah, that's what I would say. They always do something, most of the time.
Right. But then I read too somewhere they said that this one was also on a Monday around 3 in the afternoon and just before a holiday, just like the Delphi, and that could be just coincidence, but
I didn't really think of the Monday thing, but yeah, the thing is it is right around the same time. I mean, the suspect in the Delphi case was still around that time. Let's put it that way. So he was still kind of hanging around, even though the image is 207 on the bridge, and then I would just guess, like, let's just say 2:15 or 20, they're at the end of the bridge, and then, he's still around later. There's just some information out there that's factual that I don't really. I just one person called me up that knew stuff that he could know but shouldn't have known. Let's put it that way. I mean, he did know, but he shouldn't have known it because he had a brother that was actually a high up person, and it turned out what he was telling me was true. And then I got a phone call from somebody over there going, "Hey, you brought this up on your show. How did you know that?" And I said, "Oh, okay, well, I didn't tell the person, I didn't tell on the guy. I just kind of gave generalities, but it was pretty weird." Yeah.
Okay. And then I also read that he filed bankruptcy in January.
Yeah, the stressor.
2017.
Yeah.
And he may have been homeless, but they don't know for sure when the house was.
Well, where was his wife living then at the time?
I don't know. And then somebody I read on I can't remember what channel it was. Not YouTube, but it was the news that said that there was a story that his wife's family may be from the Delphi area, but I don't think that. I haven't heard that corroborated.
That's fake. That's not real. That's not real. Here's what is real. There is somebody that went to Delphi High School that has the same name as his wife. However, it said it doesn't make sense mathematically. Like the date, it was 1975, but she's 66 years old, and then she would have been like 23 years old if that was her. And it just stuff didn't make sense. It wasn't her. As a matter, we actually know it wasn't her. I think Becky actually knows that person because they still live there, and that's not her. But how weird is that, right? Same freaking name and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that crazy? Because if you type in her name on Google, it's like in the top 5 searches, it pops up with Delphi High School. I mean, immediately you go, "Oh my God, look at that! That's crazy!" It's wild, but it's not related. But what are the odds of that? My God, it's just.
I know, astronomical.
Yeah.
But I think that he, as far as they said his tweeting, he tweeted out his last tweet. This I thought was really interesting. Was in 10 o'clock in the morning on the 14th of February, 2017, and then he didn't tweet again for 2.5 months.
Yeah, I mean it is that day. Seemed kind of. Well, who knows? I want to know whether or not he is or not a suspect in that case, though. I mean, because it's just, to me, you got the jacket, you got the coat, you got the right height, you got the, hell, even the goatee, you got the eye color. I actually think that the eye color of the killer, if the eyewitnesses are right, is a hazel color. And the reason I say that is because if you're looking at somebody, you would say, well, they were kind of a brown. But what we have is the phrase, I just know that they weren't blue. Okay? Now, the only time you would say that is if you looked at their eyes, they were light. But they weren't blue because you've seen those dark, those light blue eyes before. You've seen the blue eyes. But if they were kind of like a little hazily color, you could say, well, I just know they weren't blue. But if they were brown or dark, you'd say, well, he had dark eyes. Something like that. So now we know that they're a lighter color. They just weren't blue. So I'm going to say that they're sort of a hazel color, and it looks like this guy has that color. See?
Yeah, and the picture that you were showing on his Facebook, that's weird too. He put up his new Facebook page on February 5th. Was it?
Well, hold on a second. I think if they were green or brown, you'd say they were green or brown. It's really obvious stuff.
Right.
It was something. So my thing is you said they just weren't blue. That means you couldn't quite place the color. If it was green, you'd say green. If they were brown, you'd say brown. If they were dark brown, you'd say dark brown. You'd say, oh, they were almost black. But this person said they just weren't blue. So to me, you're sort of in this weird area, that weird sort of grayish blue color, where they just weren't sure what to say. That's what my thought is. Anyways, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, the picture too that you were showing on some older Facebook page a couple of years ago. He was sitting on the deck, I guess, with his wife.
Yeah.
He didn't have a whole lot of hair on top, but he did have that reddish brown hair back then on his chin.
Yeah, it was a little darker. Yep.
Then he took that page down, and then he started a new one a year after. I think it was like February 15th of this year, like a day or two after the murder anniversary, with a new Facebook page. So it's just, it's like you said before. It's if it's not the guy. I mean, there's so many things.
Yeah. It is pretty weird. I have to say this is the first guy I ever brought up, and the only reason I brought him up was because just there was some similarities there, with the hat, and for my case it was, wow, you got that same looking hat, the blue jacket, and it's a crime where he sort of trapped women, kind of planned it out where he's like, okay, they're in my trap, goes out, gets his gun, then he goes back in, and the Delphi killer had a gun, apparently. Let's see, didn't use it,
that was a
but
good
he had
analysis there you did. That really brought it to me to see the similarity.
Yeah, and then the press conference, they say that, right? They literally say, yeah, wow, yes, we put Delphi at the top of the list when we saw this one. And what were those similarities that you saw? Was it? I guarantee it wasn't just the hat in the jacket, right? So that's why I don't like reporters anymore, because why didn't somebody follow up and say, was mainly the similarity the hat and the jacket? And then they'd say,
right.
They might have answered it and said, well, it was a little more than that.
For a job where your job is asking questions, they ask the worst. They don't know how to ask questions.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. It's amazing how they keep their jobs. I don't know, because they're supposed to report.
Yeah.
They're reporters,
Like my one sound effect that I have with that lady, he goes, well, what do you mean? The body was in the car. Oh, there was that one case where, remember the one where the girl was at the wedding and then her body was found on the side of the road. It was in Oregon with the mother.
Right.
Yeah, and then they had that court hearing, or not a court hearing, a press conference, and then the guy was great. He was like one of the best, prosecutor, whatever you want to call him, I've ever heard being interviewed. But the reporter there was just so stupid. I mean, it was unbelievable.
I know.
Were you not paying attention the whole time?
Right.
Yeah.
Or the guy asking that Cheney guy in the Tibbetts case, the stupid questions. Well, how nervous were you? They ask these questions with the answers already in the question. I mean, they're just ridiculous. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and he was left talking about what they got to eat for lunch, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for all the people bringing food, everybody. That's awesome. Thank you. What a great update.
Yeah, really. That's you got an A+ at the office for that one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just too many similarities with this guy, and I just
well, even if it's
really interested.
If it turns out not to be the guy, at least it's still interesting, and it's weird. It'll be a really crazy coincidence if it's not the guy, right?
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Apparently, he had a road rage incident too, like a week or two before this, with some guy. He almost.
Oh, did he get arrested for that too, or something?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Hmm.
I think he did. There was a police report about it.
Yeah.
It had something to do with. He didn't like the fact he hated the guy driving the car because the other car is because he went to Notre Dame or something, like a Notre Dame, University of Notre Dame sticker or something on his car.
Hey, do you remember that first press conference about that? Let me see if I can find it. I'm not sure how accurate they were. Because I remember the first press conference, they were going, he's a guy that's not going to fit in. They were doing all these sort of these classic comments. He's going to really stand out. He's a really strange guy and everything. But he kind of, but he wasn't really, right? He's sort of a normal guy in reality.
Oh.
So,
I mean, as usual, the neighbors all said he was like one of the friendliest people they've ever met. I mean, and then he's out on the road, you know, psycho man wanting to kill people because they're driving too slow. And he's he's also a pastor, and then he works for a Catholic church, some Calvary Chapel church, which also had a branch in Delphi, by the way.
Yeah.
Which closed, I think, the week after those murders in Delphi. This one other thing I read. And then...
where are you reading this stuff? Is this like on Web Sleuths or something? I mean, because that's a lot of... That's pretty... You get a lot of this sort of... I mean, where would you read that? Where was that?
I think that was on
Reddit.
It might have been on Reddit.
Oh, Reddit. Yeah. Okay. Huh.
And then he also worked for Jewish Community Center as like a customer service representative, like at a store where you bring things back. I don't know. Never knew the Jewish Community Center had something like that, but I don't know what his religion is. I don't know if he is Jewish or if he's Catholic or not. I don't think he's Catholic, but
I don't know what he is.
He has some angst between being Jewish. He worked for the Jewish church and the Jewish synagogue, and then he worked for a chapel, a Christian chapel, and he got all these conflicting things going on.
Maybe he was trying to find himself. He was always like, I don't feel anything. I'm a monster. Let me see if I can find something in this one or that one, right? I mean, I don't know what this guy's doing. He's a psycho, right? I mean, I actually think he's a serial killer. I guarantee it. This wasn't his first day out there where he just went, hey, I'm going to go ahead and start killing today at 53 or whatever the hell he is.
Yeah, and he's probably doing this thing of hiding in plain sight, like keeping the same clothes. Like you said, he got away again if it weren't for that business card. But who knows how many of these things he's done before. When you really look at these things, if there are no cameras around, rural areas, it's pretty easy to get away with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Hate to say, if there aren't witnesses, and I mean, especially in more rural areas. Well, you know that, but
yeah,
I bet you this guy has done several of these. Like you said, it wasn't his first rodeo.
Yeah, I got this other person calling in. You want me to add him to this one? Let's see how it goes. Here we go. Hello, you're added to the call. Now there's 3 of us on here. Hello.
Hey, Gray.
Who's this?
This is Susan. I am calling from North Carolina. And I was just wondering if you ever found that third location, because I actually know where the location is, where the suspect in the Hania Aguilar.
Yeah.
Did you ever find that third location?
I don't even remember. You mean like where the guy was walking with the hoodie on?
Yeah. You were close to it, where the budget trucks is. There's like a road that goes up that way. Right beside of the budget trucks. It starts with an L. But that's a house had actually caught him walking down that road, and then he made a left. So it's right where you can see the front of it, and then you can see the budget truck. So it's that exact road right there where the budget trucks are at. And also we have another young girl, she's 13 years old, that went missing, so we're not for sure if that was actually, we're not exactly who they found because she went missing Monday. Also, not too far from that location.
Yeah, I was looking. The shot that I was missing, there was a fence or something. That's what I remember missing.
Yes, you will see that if you go up on that road there. If
What
you can
road? Just tell me where it is right now. I'll see if I can. I'm looking at the map. Where
Okay, you know where the budget trucks were at?
No.
Where,
Well, hold on.
it's
Oh,
where
yeah,
the
I kind of
budget-
remember
the
that.
budget truck.
Wait, it was like a. You mean where the apartment complex? I mean, clear back over here where the mobile homes were back there.
Not far from the mobile homes. If you go to where the first location, it's on the main road right there. You'll see some budget trucks. You were at it when you were looking for it before, because you were talking about the budget trucks and everything. Because see what he did is he came off of a side road there and he made a left onto that main road there. Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm watching
yeah.
you. I had the volume turned down.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's on the main road here because he took a left back here. He walked up this street, took a left. This shot here is where one of them was taken. He was right
Well,
there.
it's right up the side of the budget trucks right there.
Yeah, but
You'll
where's
see
the
those
budget
trucks from the main road.
I know, but where is it? Like you're the one that knows the map, right? So you're saying you know where the spot is. So where is it on? Let me type in, I'll type in
Okay,
budget.
I'm looking. Can you go down on the road there? It's near the first location. And then you just need to get on the main road, and then you'll see as you're walking, you'll see the budget trucks right there. And then you turn up that road. It starts with an L. I'm sorry, I should have known the name before I called in. See, I've known you since the McStays. We were in that group.
Oh yeah, cool.
And
I do have the budget right here. I have the budget right here. Yeah, I have that part on the
Okay.
camera. I already marked this spot.
Well, there's that. Okay, that side road right there, that road right there that where the budget trucks are at, that road right there, you're on it. Okay, that's where he came from. It starts with an L if you want to go look at the main.
Yeah, I already have that already mapped out. That part was already
Okay, so you
figured
did
out.
map that location
See
there
that?
where he comes down that road.
See shot one? That's right there. See, it's already sitting there.
Okay.
So then he took a left
All right.
and he went this way. The part I was missing was there was a little bit of a fence on the side of the road from a distance. I got shot 1 and 3, but I don't have 2. That was the problem.
Okay. Well, I have. We get a lot more news here, and a lot more channels here. You know, they're letting us know, a lot. So I will try to find that second location. But I just want to let you know there is another 13-year-old that went missing. She was kidnapped Monday. And so we're not for sure if it's actually her body that they found or... we've got a lot of people missing and
what's her
or
name?
being kidnapped in North Carolina.
Yeah, what's her name?
It's Susan Alba. I used to be in the McStays, and you asked me one time who I thought, did it, and I put CM.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I'm still in there. I donated money to Patrick and stuff like that, and I kind of got into it with Rick Baker because he actually moved to North Carolina, and he had a radio station here. He was actually...
yeah, Rick Baker is a lunatic. He actually would do all. He did all this stuff against me. Like it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I had to get an attorney, and I had to press charges. And then he quit doing what he was doing. He was insane, like an insane person. I don't know what.
Yes,
the hell
I mean he said something to me because I burned his book. I ordered it and then I burned it.
Did you ever follow that one, Richard?
And,
did you ever follow that? Richard, we have another person on the phone here. Did you ever follow that case at all, Richard? The McStay case.
I was listening to you were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
And that was the business partner, I guess.
Yeah, that was the Chase
That's
Merritt guy. My friend Ada always thought it was Chase Merritt. She kept getting me to come. She always had to keep getting me to go back and forth, and because there's all these other people. It's crazy. There's like, I mean, even when you watch the documentaries, they point out all these other people, like her ex-boyfriend. I mean, just a wacko. It was wild, all over the place.
But Ray, I just wanted to say I appreciate what you do. I only watch you. There's a lot of other channels on there about missing people, but I appreciate so much what you do because I actually get to see the locations, and that helps people out a lot. And, you know, a lot of other channels, they just come on and tell you about, you know, the people missing, what happened. But with your channel, you know, we get an ideal of the location, and I absolutely am so thankful that you actually made a channel because you were very good in that group that we were in with a lot of the information and a lot of what in your videos. I watched your videos about it, how the truck backed in and everything, and I was like, somebody please give this man you know.
I just started. I always had a YouTube channel, but I always had a YouTube channel, but I would just put. Basically, I only put videos on there when I got so sick of trying to explain something to somebody. So I'd make a video showing, "Hey, look it. This is it right here," and I didn't use it for anything. But then later, like heck, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, I said, "Hey, why don't I, you know, have an actual, you know, channel type thing."
Right, and I appreciate you covering what's happened in Lumberton. I'm not far from there, and I know people that's actually there. And, you know, I don't understand what's going on there. We don't hear a lot of it here where I'm at here in North Carolina, and I appreciate what you're doing because, you know, those women, no matter what their background is, they deserved attention, and they need to find out what's going on. We have so many people in Lumberton that is missing, and now another 13-year-old has been kidnapped, and it's nerve-wracking. I mean, like, what are they doing down there?
Nah, it's just a blight on humanity, Lumberton. That's what I would say.
Yeah. But I'm going to get off of here. I just want to say thank you so much. I'm glad you did this. Like I said, I watched your YouTube channel when you were making those about the McStays, and I enjoyed all of it. Oh, I even watched your Kanika Jenkins, and I seen, you know, the heat you got from that, and I was like,
it's horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Mike Rules said that I 90%, but I'd say I made like 70 videos, so it's probably more like 20% of my videos were in that case because it was just every single day there was another just totally nonsense story that thousands of people were believing, and I could just easily disprove it, so I would do it.
Yes, and that's what you are good at doing, so you keep right on doing it because, and you know, I've listened to a lot of, you know, of your opinions, and I happen to agree with a lot of them.
Well, good. Thanks. So we got, I think we got another caller calling in now, too. There's another beeping. All of a sudden, you guys
I'm going to let you go, and thank you, and it's like 1:54 in the morning here, so I'm going to let you go.
Okay, well, thanks. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, hey,
bye-bye.
Hey, Gray, I was going
to... Yeah, see you.
Oh, no, I was going to mention to you, too, you know, that... Oh.
No, I can still hear you. You're still there.
The crazy movie Blue Velvet.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I don't know. I don't remember
with Dennis Hopper and all that. It was that's a really weird movie.
Oh yeah.
Like
No Country for Old Men.
What
was that one? Something Country for Old Men or something, or whatever that was. That was crazy too, though. Can't remember who had like.
Oh yeah.
Who was in there? Clint Eastwood. Nah,
Right.
I don't know if Clint Eastwood was in there. Somebody was in. Woody Harrelson, maybe somebody else.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson and I think Javier Bardem
Yeah, that was pretty
the,
wild.
The killer.
Oh, and then also
Or
the guy
the-
from
the
Men in
hitman.
Black. The guy from Men in Black was in there. I can't remember his name.
Oh, I never
Yeah,
saw that
No
movie
Country
for some
for
reason.
that. There you go. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it had Josh Brolin and it was Old Country was a good movie. I read the book too. It was
Yeah,
book's
Tommy
even
Lee
better.
Jones was the guy. That's right. Candy Williams just said it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He was the sheriff. Yeah.
That was kind of
There
a
was, if
crazy
you noticed
movie.
that, except right at the end, there was no music in that movie. It was
Oh.
just except for the credits.
Well, I didn't pay attention. I was probably just watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The caller is Richard. You guys have heard him a million times. Not a million, maybe 5. From Molly Tibbetts all the way to now. But now I got another call coming in now. Somebody's calling in too. So. Want me
You
to
want me
add?
to stay on, or I
You-
guess I could. I'll let you talk with them.
Okay. All right. Hey, thanks for calling in. Then. Thanks.
All right, Greg. Good talking to you. Take
You
care
too.
now.
All right. See you. Bye. This is Gray. You're on the air.
Hi, Gray. How are you?
Not too bad. Who am I speaking with?
Alrighty. This
Alright.
is YouTube Streets. I just wanted to call in quickly and echo what the last caller said, and thank you just for your coverage. Obviously, we don't get a lot being rural, and this is a national issue. As a community, we're very heartbroken about Hania, and the next coming days probably going to be pretty hard for the community. I just wanted to call in and say thank you, and for just being brutally honest, because when you try to explain where you're from to someone that doesn't know, they usually think you're exaggerating. But like you said, per capita, it's twice as bad here as it is Chicago or some of the murder capital, because we have less population. But the murder rate just is off. And
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's no other way to say it. And I just wanted to get some quick awareness out for 2 other girls in the area that are also missing. One is very close to my heart. It is my son's aunt. She's missing, been 5 or 6 years now. Her name is Jessica Lowry. She was last seen walking on Beam Road in Lumberton. And my son's going to grow up and see these YouTubers about his aunt and be asking me a lot of questions that right now the family doesn't have the answers to. So Jessica Lowry and also Sarah Nicole Graham. She's actually from Pembroke. She was last seen on the way to work, and her body's never been discovered.
Wait, you're saying
We still don't have.
the one on Beam Road, is that just, it's a small little road, right? Like a tiny little...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's in Lumberton as well.
Well, what's
And,
weird is
my
it's
sister-
literally about, I mean, not to interrupt you, but it's about...
I'm sorry.
Earlier I was speaking of that Lauren Holmes in Beam Road is about... It's not even a mile from there where they found her on Easter. But thing is about Lumberton, everything's the same. Yeah, it's like every mile there's some
Well,
other...
Beam Road is very dangerous. If you don't have a reason to be on Beam Road, everybody knows I don't even travel on Beam Road.
How do you spell
We've
it?
had a lot of homicides on that road,
Is
yes.
it like Beam, like BEAM?
If I'm not mistaken.
Because I
I'm not in
found
front
Beam
of the computer right now.
Road, but it's like this little, it's just a little tiny little... Oh, wait, no, it's a big... Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, it's a long road.
It's near,
that goes the other direction. I thought it was a side
It's
road.
near the old plant. I forget the name of the plant, but it's not far from the old plant, and they're actually housing all the flood vehicles there from Hurricane Matthew. But it's a real bad area, and Jessica Lowry, like I said, is my former sister-in-law, and she's a very sweet girl, and like I said, I've never actually searched her name on YouTube until today, and the only reason I watch you is because I was introduced to you through the Kanika case, and I have a familiar with you. But otherwise, I probably wouldn't watch because it's a little awkward. This is my town. This is where I grew up. I graduated. This is, my home. And it's awkward watching it, on YouTube. And so usually I just don't. So I did do a search on Jessica Lowry, and there are other YouTubers that have covered her, but I don't plan on watching. So I would love
maybe you can send me
look into that.
Yeah, do you ever? You can send me an email, and there's in the description of the video. You can send me. Why don't you send me an email and put those in there, just the names even, and I can look.
I will. I'll send you both of their names, and like I said, they're with Q. Missing persons, and they're still active cases. So those are definitely 2 more Robeson County cases I would definitely appreciate your coverage on. And I just want to thank you and your chat for the support and prayers for my community.
Well, thank you. What are you? Are you actually are you a Lumbee Indian or what?
I'm a proud Lumbee Indian. Yes, and I think I said in the chat, my family has actually been in Robeson County, documented for the last 300 years. The land that I live on has been in my family since the late 1800s. So I'm still on family land, about the 5th generation, where if you actually look at the hurricane footage, one of the things that all the reporters said was you'll find a lot of Southern hospitality here. We will feed you. We will give you the clothes off of our back. So please don't generalize all the people from here, from the violent culture that unfortunately we do have. This is the Bible Belt. We still have a lot of real religious people, and just good-hearted people. And I do want to say that about my home as well. But yes, I am a proud Lumbee Indian. No criminal record. So, definitely an educated Native American. Just a quick plug. We're the first tribe in the country to start a university, the first Native American university in this country, the first Native American-owned bank, and also the first Native American-owned electric company co-op. So we have a lot of accomplishments here to be proud of, and we will not let this violent culture or anything like that take away from the positive people here, and we'll continue to be strong, and we'll support one another through this. And people like you that aren't from here, you don't know us, but the coverage helps us. It helps us emotionally. It helps us as a community to want to be better, to put a spotlight on what is happening here. We're in the South. We're in the rural county. I mean, you can see from Google Maps, this is a beautiful place, Gray. As far as the landscape, this is beautiful. You'll never find no country, as far as the landscape. It's beautiful here. It's just cornfields and good, barbecues and all of that. But unfortunately, we have a lot of drug problems. I-95 coming through Robeson County has brought a lot of that through the years. And like I said, we just appreciate the coverage on our little small town in North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm kind of hard. I know I'm sort of hard on the town, but my God, really?
I know.
Come on.
Well, listen, I'm glad you're doing that, because when I tell someone that, they're like, "Oh, she's exaggerating. It can't be worse than Chicago, girl. Bye." And I'm like, "No, really, it's worse than Chicago." Because we have a smaller population, so per capita it's twice as bad. Like you said, it's a walk in the park. No, come here and see how dangerous it can be. Just like I don't use my real name on my channel. People say, "Oh, you're a troll. You don't use your name." My real life could be jeopardized by things that I talk about on my channel. I don't care about the YouTube streets. I'm worried about my family and our safety, and it's not safe being from Robeson County for me to have any kind of channel, especially talking about justice, because that would put a target on my back for the criminal element here, and I don't plan on doing that. So people like you have to be my voice, and I appreciate that.
So your name really isn't YouTube Streets Watch and See? That's so weird.
Go figure, Greg. Go figure. Yep. But I'm watching, and I'm looking, and I'm seeing.
How did you
and
come
that's
up
all
with
I really can do.
I know that Straight Drop and all those people kept talking about YouTube Streets. Is that where you came up with? Got that?
Kind of. I know that he's probably one of the first ones that said it, and then the whole little J4K YouTube community just kind of adopted the word. And it was just a common heard word across all channels that I watched. Yeah. So I said, okay, that's what I'm going to be. And I kind of, just keep up with my little community. And like I said, that's where I become familiar with you, is through that community. And I always liked your rebuttals. Always. Your rebuttals were always classic and clean cut. And it was always good for a good laugh. And I'm actually a big J4K group creator. And that's kind of how I got tied into the YouTube streets. And that's another thing. A lot of people ask why I wasn't as vocal as I could have been with the platform that I had with J4K. But then my community members are going to say, hey, you have family members that need justice. You know, it's not something that I felt, you know, an obligation to pick up, but it's something that I wholeheartedly supported and always appreciated your input into the conversation. So yeah, definitely.
I mean, I got a lot of crap for it. I mean, the thing is, I mean, I think the justice for the family would be some kind of a settlement, right?
Right.
That's what
I
I've
do.
always said.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, and it was just, and as you see, those videos are still going viral a year later. So that's
crazy.
It's still pretty active community. So there's a lot to watch and see. You're never bored.
That's true.
Never bored.
I
would definitely hit you with an email of these names.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Yeah, I don't really make videos on that case anymore. Just I might if something came up that was egregious. That like, I mean, it's gotten to the point now where it's so crazy. Like, oh, that wasn't even Kanika. You know, almost all of them say that wasn't even her. It's like, really? Wow. So the mother didn't see her. That she didn't know who she was looking at. Yeah.
Right. And the thing that always bothered me with the case was, you know, Illinois law, and I looked it up early. You know, they have the alcohol law. If anybody purchases alcohol and there's a death, it's class 4 felony. And I just never could understand, you know, at the end of the day, she was still underage. It doesn't matter if she had a habit of drinking, maybe with family members or whatever, but the justice system stands alone from what we allow in our homes, you know? And it always just hurt me that no one was held accountable for the fact that a death occurred while she was intoxicated as a minor. I just feel like that's
for the
part
hotel.
that bugged me.
Yeah, the hotel or whoever, you know. The thing is it's so common though, right? That kids drink in high school, they drink alcohol, and then when I was in college, you're not 21 until you're a junior usually. And people are getting hammered all the time, and it's just kind of the way it is. So it's sort of like, okay, yeah, we can go out to these people, but you know, she's
right.
Here's the main thing about that case is that a lot of people ignore the topiramate angle, and what I'm saying about what it actually said on the autopsy. They go, oh, that's so little, 300 nanograms. Yeah, that is so little. However, the 300 nanograms, or 300 whatever nanograms it was, are regular use levels for somebody who has seizures. So it wasn't like it was just some tiny amount that wouldn't affect. No, she had the levels that if you had, you were somebody who had seizures often, that you would have to take it every single day, and then over time,
where it builds up in your blood.
Yeah, it builds up in your blood. You can't build it up that quick. You cannot just have somebody slip you some topiramate at a party, drink it, and have it show up at 300 nanograms on a test. It doesn't work like that. So she was already had it in her system when she showed up to the party. And then when she was at the party, she, at the end, you don't see this on any of those videos because it wasn't Ty's live or Irene's live. She wasn't drinking very much at all. You see her standing there. She's just kind of standing around. But then at the end, she started drinking Hennessy from a bottle, right? So it probably, even though there wasn't a ton of alcohol in her system, even if it was a little over the limit, it probably hit her and the topiramate, and then she was just totally disoriented.
Wasted.
Yeah, and just kind of, and I think, like, I don't know, you've probably heard me say it a million times, but they went out in the hall to leave, and then right when they were standing by the elevator, I think they already pressed the button to call the elevator, and at that time of night, you're going to get the closest one to you because there's nobody else calling elevators, maybe one or two people. And so they went back in. Kanika goes, hey, I left my phone. And they go back in the room, and because she's only 10 feet away. It's just right there. The elevator's right next to the room. So they go in and get it, and then they come out because they're buzzed too. And she'd already gotten on the elevator and thought, oh, I'll meet them down the lobby, but hit LL instead of L. And then you see her get out down there, and she just kind of, she didn't realize how to get to where she was going. She was totally intoxicated.
Disoriented.
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 And the thing is, that the word everyone goes, she wasn't intoxicated, she was drunk. And I'm like, hey, listen. Look, all intoxicated means is that some kind of either drugs or alcohol or something are making you. I don't understand these little nuances that people throw out. It really drives me nuts. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I said earlier, and they're still arguing about it until today.
Yeah, like that. Like yesterday,
I
went on this. Let me just say this. I went on the Straight Drops live and just was watching last night, and I mean, it was crazy. You had this girl. They were talking about Dr. Ali, but how he scammed everybody, right? And then all of a sudden, she brings up, well, do you remember how he said that there was 3 types of semen on her? Well, that really happened. Well, you actually believe that part, but then you don't believe he was a scammer. But then he was a total scammer. Like, he scammed everybody out of all this stuff, but now you're going to believe that because it helps your story. If that was a reality, that there was literally 3 types of semen on her, there would have been a shitload of investigations going on. That never happened. That was just somebody threw out there. And I mean, because the thing is, if it was literally in one of the autopsies, that would have been, we'd all see it, right? I don't know.
Already.
I don't know. I just got so frustrated with that. But.
Yeah, like you said, it got really out there, and it's still out there. And
well, it's getting worse now because they're trying. Now it's just searching for an angle. You know, like, oh God, I mean, pretty soon we're gonna have aliens and all kinds of. Yeah,
and it's there's a lot you could say about it, and that's one reason why I just took the approach that I'm just gonna sit here and observe, because like you said, it was already a circus. And it just got worse and worse kind of over time. Yeah. And it was just a sad situation. And I never understand, you know, I always remember the mother in my prayers. And I can't imagine, you know, the exposure the cases got on social media. But sometimes she does interact and respond to YouTubers and stuff. And you know, they just take that and run with it. And it just goes crazy for another week or two. And
right. See, that's the thing. Is if I was a hotel, I would have had a hard time settling with her. I would have been, God, I don't want to settle.
Well, they're still in litigation, aren't they?
Yeah, but she's making it harder for herself to get something, because every time they keep saying this, spread this narrative. Oh, organ harvesting in the hotel. Well, shit, you're ruining the hotel. You're slandering them. So why would they feel like they needed to give you anything? I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a legal thing. They're going to have to pay, but I don't know, man. I'd fight it at that point, just with the crap.
Well, they definitely have a hefty legal team that, you know, she won't have access to. So.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it should have just settled a long time ago, and it would have. I just think all this other stuff that's gone on has actually hurt any sort of settlement.
Well, it looks like they're fighting it, like you said, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guarantee if they wouldn't have fought it at first, they would have said, you know what, okay. But here is another thing, too, is the law is it reasonable that the hotel should have realized that kitchen should have been locked to keep it away from a person, you know, like a guest? And it seems like, wow, how would they think that? Like, geez, way up here in this back area, like, I don't know. See, they actually have an argument against that part of it. Their issue, I think, is more that the security guard was given jobs to do, like, delivering towels and crap like that has absolutely nothing to do with security, where he could have actually been performing security things and maybe would have seen her or something like that. And also the fact that they went to the room once and they just let the party keep going. Or, like, wow, I mean,
that's a good argument. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones they're gonna have to kind of focus in on. I don't think the thing about, well, that kitchen should have been locked. Well, wow, was it reasonable to think somebody from the hotel, I guess, would be that far deep into the, you know, the inner work, you know, way in there? I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me, that part. But the other part. do. Go ahead.
What I was just going to say, the one thing that always raised my eyebrow too is, and it happens at a lot of hotels, I do know at least one of the security guards was an off-duty local cop. And that's, common in my area too. The off-duty cops do the security at the hotels or the local clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know, and I try to think outside of just that situation. If a crime occurs at any location an off-duty cop is working, if maybe he, like you said, maybe he was delivering towels and wasn't where he's supposed to be. Well, is he going to have a bias in what he tells me? Those are just my human thoughts that come to mind. Because obviously he's going to look bad.
Well, that security guard, the one that we see on the footage, I don't think he was a off-duty police officer.
No, it wasn't him. It was one of the ones that was in the lobby, if I'm not mistaken. Because the one with the vest, remember the one that was actually, wasn't there one that actually had his uniform on in the lobby?
I don't remember seeing anything like that. I've seen all the footage. I don't remember another guy that looked like I had a vest on or anything.
I'm going to have to go there. It's been a while, and I'm a mom. I have toddlers and small kids, so it hasn't been I haven't been able to give it a lot of my main attention. Even with my main group, I've just kind of tried to run it with integrity and fairness. And, I kind of had to have a hands-off approach because of just my personal life and my small kids. So, like I said, YouTubers like you, good information, good sources, it really helped me a lot just on, what to allow in my group, what not to, what narrative is maybe more likely, what's not. So all of that helped during the process last year.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the whole thing for me is you look at things that are real facts and then only speculate reasonably on those facts. Don't start going, oh, well, gosh, what if that guy got a hold of the footage and then he deleted everything and he went back here and he did this and that? Come on. I mean, it's so unreasonable now. I actually, the thing is, I bought all the security, I purchased the external hard drive and I've seen it all and I don't see anything. I think it's weird that a couple of those cameras weren't working, but that's it. There's absolutely
all 36 hours, huh?
Yeah, there's no evidence whatsoever in the 36 hours that anything was deleted, or that there was anybody following Kanika, or that there was anybody anywhere near her while she was walking around. That's the honest to God truth. So to make it work, the only angle left was Mike Mecca's angle, where he would say, "Well, in that final kitchen up there, they deleted motions," okay? And that's where he was left. But he realized all the other stuff that people say are bogus. It's completely bogus. Right. So he got all the way down to that part, and I just don't think he proved it whatsoever on what he was trying to say. And, that's kind of where I am. I have no doubt at all that it was an accident. I think it was like a perfect storm scenario where just crazy things... it's not even really that wild if you just sort of watch it. Like this person's just walking around aimlessly, but it was just like, she walked back to the right place.
I have a quick question. Since you've obviously went through the footage and whatnot, I have a clip that I actually took down from my channel because it caused a lot of uproar. It's been several months ago, but it was a clip and I couldn't verify, like you said, I didn't have the time to get the whole 36 hours and find the timestamp that I had for the clip. I just didn't have time to verify that it hadn't been doctored. But I did see a clip of Zach there before the party, before Kanika ever come, and it was earlier in the evening, maybe about 11 or something.
No, I've seen that clip, but that's not Zach though. That's the thing. I went through the whole thing.
That was my question.
Like Society 2 Cents or whatever the hell her name is. She sent me that. She was
I took it down because it was just too much.
She was like, look at this, but the stripes aren't even the same. Zach was not at that hotel that night. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, it's hilarious.
I could never verify the clip, so I just took it down because I didn't know. There's a lot of I don't knows in it,
Yeah.
So I just took it down, but I'm glad I asked that question because I always wondered that.
Yeah, no, I kind of looked at it. You had the sort of a similar thing with but the stripes were different sizes. The sort of the seams, I guess you'd call them. He didn't have the same hair. It just wasn't the guy, you know. So it was kind of, but it's so easy for people to say, you know, like people say, oh, you're the security guard, I've seen you, or you're the 911 operator, they've said I was, or they said that I was the, you know, like every single thing possible, because how could you know, what's your angle here? You know, what I don't understand is, why does justice for something mean that you have to be on the side of insanity? Like, you have to jump on and go, yes, let's, no matter what, let's find some reason to make her be murdered. I don't understand what that means. See, my thing is I think justice means the truth. Okay?
I agree.
And that's what I tried my best to put out accurate information. I know some of those were funny, my debunking videos, because I tried to make them funny, but I also was really just absolutely destroying the things that those people were saying, right?
Right.
Come on, you got to admit, man, some of those things, there was no recovering. Like the ice machine punching, you remember that video?
I do.
Come on, I just destroyed that thing, man. Then I showed the guy, he was scooping ice. Come on, it was perfect. Oh, and then the guy in the blue, it turns out those were crates, okay? The blue, the guy with the blue hoodie, those were crates. There was actually footage of them moving them later, and it took away that whole look that you see there. But anyways.
That video had my group sending messages all night to the early morning.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know, some video about the ice machine and something.
The original one, right? The way it
right, yeah, I saw, because,
oh, yeah.
And it's so grainy, and, you know, everything was always so grainy and pixelated, and I just left it, most of it, with I have no clue. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at something, and again, seeing different perspectives help you formulate a better idea. And you were definitely a left field perspective, and it helped kind of, you know, mingle everything together. So it worked.
Well,
it worked.
That's good. Well, at least that's good. All I wanted to do was I was trying to be, what do you call it? The sort of
the voice of reason.
Right? Yeah, I was going to say the reasonable voice in a sea of insanity. You know, I don't know what to say. You know,
that's close.
You know, but yeah, you were definitely you had the right same word. But I was trying to come up with the rest of the phrase. Yours was better. But anyways,
voice of reason.
Yeah. Well, cool.
But I'll definitely send you these names, and I look forward to keeping in contact with you.
Yeah, well, that'd be interesting. Maybe you can come on and we can go over it together or something like that. On that case.
Sure. I'll refresh myself, because both of these cases are within the last 5 to 6 years, so they're not too far ago where there's not a lot of information. So I'll try to refresh my information and my memory as well, and pull up the cases and kind of refresh my memory about everything. Yeah. So I'll be doing that also, and I'll go ahead and send you that email.
I always like the accents that you guys you have over there. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody. Who doesn't like the accent over there in North Carolina? Come on.
Yeah, big shout out to North Carolina, UNC, Chapel Hill. You know, we always have the Duke Carolina rivalry.
Yeah.
So, got to shout out my Carolina.
Yeah. No.
But yes, we have distinct accents, and actually the Lumbee people have an even stronger accent. And we actually speak a form of broken English. We actually use the Queen's Old English, Gray. Like my grandmother would tell me to heist the window.
Oh, wow.
And that's a word from the Queen, the Old English.
Wow.
So we actually still use those words.
It's actually better. You know, have you ever seen one of those old letters a soldier, like in the Civil War, or somebody might write to their wife? They're so incredible. It's like the best grammar in English that you could ever see. Now, man, I don't even think I could. I don't think I could get out half a sentence that sounded anything like that stuff.
You know? But if I say that anywhere else, most people will be like, the what, the window?
Yeah, right, yeah.
And I would be like, oh my God, raise the window, please. Lift, raise, open, what adjective you want to use, or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, we speak a And they say, I don't know if it's true or not, but the linguistic people, all the people that study languages, they say that the rhythm and the tone that we speak, it actually mimics our original language, which unfortunately, for the most part, has been lost. We have a few tribal affiliations within our tribe, so some of our languages have been lost, and they say we speak our English in the same rhythm. I guess that's a big thing they study. So we actually have people that actually come here from Duke University, etc., and study how we speak. And I'm usually one of those people they come get out of the university classroom or whatever to come be a translator, because I can speak, proper, and then I can also what the locals are saying. So I've done a lot of that through my educational career. Done a lot of translating. Even though it's English, I have to translate.
So you live in Lumberton then, right?
I'm actually, Lumberton, I'm thinking I said 72, but it's not the right. I'm actually coming towards Pembroke. So I'm actually, you're not going to know any of the landmarks I'm about to say. But I'm about 20 minutes away from old Wiregrass. It's actually Wiregrass Road. I'm about 20 minutes from there. So about 20 minutes south. So I do not live in the city limits of Lumberton, although I have in the past. My first apartment, moved out on my own at 18. It was on West 7th Street, which is also the road that Miss Athena Shakur, Tupac's mom, she was actually my neighbor. So I did live on East 7th Street in Lumberton for several years. And after my college and everything, I actually moved out of the city limits. So, and there was bad crime there too.
Oxendine's a really common name over there, though, I found.
It is. It's one of our tribal names. It's we have a unique way of clanning. Our clan system typically goes by our surnames. So the Oxendine family is a huge family here. It's probably one of the third biggest families here, Locklear being the largest. Yes, Oxendine is a main.
Well, it was funny because I thought, I got this. I was trying to, when I first started looking into I was like, okay, Oxendine, Jesus, I'll find her in 2 seconds. And I type it in there, it's like a million.
Yeah, and actually, that surname is not found anywhere outside of our tribe. And I've done some research on that surname in the past, and it's actually considered one of the oldest surnames in America, because it dates back to obviously the first colonies in our tribal history. So yeah, it's definitely a tribal name, and anybody you ever meet that's an Oxendine, they're a Lumbee.
Awesome.
So yes.
And I actually
one of my
spoke to just to let you know that I have spoken. I should probably reach out again because they never got back to me. But I spoke to the mother of Rhonda Jones and the sister of Rhonda Jones. And we talked a couple times, actually, and I was we were going to maybe have a show. I was trying to get her to get Megan's mom as well, and then come on and sort of discuss the case. I think that'd be awesome. But I think
it would be too, and I'm going to tell you, they're both Lumbee families, and I would be a big support for you there, because they're going to be more comfortable. Like, I could drive to their house and, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah? Okay.
They're in my community. And we don't really have a lot of outsiders, especially media, but I'm sure they're probably used to it because of their situation right now. But they're really a great family.
Good night, Jim.
Megan.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I just
Megan was a sweet girl. I'm sorry, but Megan was a very sweet girl. She was a friend of mine. And
she's very pretty, too. Very pretty,
Yes, she was. She was, and my dog hears me at this door. But a quick story. I was actually at work, and I saw the interview Megan done live. I saw it live. I was at work. Everybody was like, around the TV, and I just broke down crying, and I had to leave work. And I actually work outside of the county, so most of my coworkers, maybe don't understand on a personal level, but they were like, "Why are you so upset?" And I said, "Her life's in danger. She'll be dead by the end of the week." And they said, "No, don't say that. Don't say that." She was dead by the end of the week, because what she said in that interview, even though it may not mean nothing to you or to anybody else, there were certain things she said in the interview that pinpoint someone that the locals would know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, so I have it on my screen right now. This is where she was standing in that interview right here.
Yeah, well, she made the comment, and I don't remember verbatim, but she made the comment something like, "Oh, everybody knows who's down that road." Something like, everybody knows whose turf that is, or you know what I'm saying?
I don't remember that part. I've heard the interview. I have the interview. It was something. The part I heard. I'm sure there was more in the interview than that I heard on what I saw, but it was just something like.
Oh no, the part that I saw that made me go to crying, it's not in the. You can't find it now. That the black gentleman that done the interview, he feels a lot responsible for that, and he cut it out. You can't find that now. He has it, but it's not to the public. And I've seen it live, and it wasn't a very, obvious comment that she made.
Did she go missing like a week later? She was found 6 weeks later, so maybe she, She
was dead within 3 days, and I my coworkers were just shocked. When I come back to work, they was like, "How did you know? How did you know that she was going to be murdered?" And I said, because she said distinct things in that interview that everybody from Robeson County knew who she was talking about.
Yeah, but hold on, let me try to get. I'm trying to get these dates. See, the thing is Rhonda Jones and Christina Bennett were found on April 18th, and then Megan's interview was right around that time, because it was right then. It was like, and so, but her body was found June 3rd, so that'd be like 4, 5, almost 6 weeks later. So was she missing?
I'm not exactly sure exactly the date she was declared missing, but I know it was literally not too long after that interview that we had to report she was missing.
Yeah, because I think she was already decomposed a little bit when they found her, so maybe.
And her mom, I can see the frustration, because her mom reminds me a lot of my mom. They're both similar ladies, and I could just see the frustration on her that. Something my baby said in that interview got her killed. She knew something, and it's just heartbreaking, and that's what I mean by I can't use my name on this channel. I'm not going to, have a conversation with Gray and come up missing, because I gave my name. No, I don't plan on that happening. I will be YouTube streets forever. So there's certain things we can't, as a young girl, I've witnessed several murders in my life just from being at a community function or whatever. But I was taught as a young child, you stay to yourself, you don't, repeat what you see. And if you do, that could cost you your life. And that's something that we all understand here. It's not one of those things where snitches get stitches. It's one of those things that you could tell something and not be here tomorrow, and that's a real reality that we live with. And unfortunately, he interviewed Megan, and she was still emotional. She had just found out about Rhonda. I remember that. And she was hurt. She was so hurt, and she was angry, and she spoke without thinking. And that's what hurt me about the interview, because I was like, man, I forget his name, the guy that done the interview. But I said, man, for the reporters, don't come to Lumberton and interview none of us, please.
Well, that's interesting.
At least not that fresh while we're emotional.
Well, do the police know that?
It could cost us our life.
They should have the police watch that interview again then. Because, the thing is that's kind of a big clue there.
It is. And the thing is, Gray, I just, you hear a lot about Chicago, their crime and their corruption. And I'll say it goes hand in hand for Robeson County. Our crime goes hand in hand with corruption. And I'll leave it at that. We are having a new sheriff change. It's been sworn in, Mr. Bernice Wilkins. We have high hopes that he's going to try to, help reduce crime in whatever ways he can. But our corruption started, and you can look into this, Gray, with a former sheriff, Hubert Stone. And he was actually caught doing a lot of corrupt things. He was pretty much flying in drugs with company, with sheriff stuff. This is back in maybe the 70s or 80s. This is kind of before my time. But all the old heads say the corruption started here with Sheriff Hubert Stone. and it's kind of continued, as a corruption culture here, and that it doesn't serve the community. If anything, it makes it harder, because and it really, it's kind of scary when we're in the media like we are now. The fact that we're even having this conversation means that there are going to be more murders, just because the media's watching, all the drug dealers are on high alert, everybody's, you know what I'm saying? It just makes everybody, all the criminal element, they're sweating right now. So if the criminal element is sweating right now, then they're going to be taking out more aggression.
Oh, so you're saying I shouldn't do my shows, then, is what you're saying?
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, like I heard that somebody was plugging your channel in the live, and you was like, I bet some of those local people are in here now. I was like, I hope not.
No.
I hope not, just because, just being funny, but it makes it, it just makes the environment a little more like we're on eggshells. And I don't ever like when they're like that, because they already have little patience, and then their patience gets even thinner. And
but I'm just kind of basically I'm just kind of reporting what's already known, though.
No, that's a good thing, Greg, because guess what? Like I said, the crime speaks to corruption, and to me, the only way we can fight corruption is true journalism. How can we fight corruption with biased medias or medias that can be paid off, or et cetera, et cetera? True journalism, grassroots journalism like you're doing, is how we expose corruption without risk to myself or to anybody local in the city that you're reporting in. So, don't be discouraged by that. I'm just saying, because we can't help any of these cases go media, but maybe by shining light on corruption, they can be a solution.
I've had 3 or 4 cases lately that I've been covering for days, and then all of a sudden it's in the media. It's like, where the hell were you guys, man? Where were you?
And it was hurtful. The Abby, I think, is it Abby Peterson? Is her last name Peterson?
Abby Patterson. Yeah.
Patterson. I apologize. Rhonda and the other girls, we just felt like, pardon a nice way to say it, but we were like, man, we've been down here getting murdered and missing. Abby comes here, Caucasian woman, and then all of a sudden y'all worried about all our dead, dying girls. Well, praise God.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing is I switched right to it. Like, as soon as they said Abby Patterson, and then I looked in and I said, oh, wow, look at these other ones. Forget Abby. I was like, not forget Abby Patterson, but I just wasn't interested
in that area that you're mapping, the dealers in that area, they deal hard drugs. That's not just crack cocaine. That's where meth and heroin is.
Yeah.
So any of the girls that are frequent in that area, they unfortunately have, a hard drug addiction. So it is a very bad area. That little block that you're circling is nothing but dealers. Those abandoned houses are being dealt out of. They're being used in, etc. Yeah. But like many people or the viewers always say, that no matter these girls' lifestyles, the truth, deserves to come out about who harmed them, etc. And it is very refreshing and nice to see that their stories, for their family's sake, are getting coverage, and that they're being remembered. And that just correlates to we matter. We matter. And my prayers are with Hania and her family. I can't imagine. And I hate my town is in the media again, but like I said, one of those things, you can't find a solution if you don't talk about the problem. If you don't, zoom in on the problem, get to the root of the problem, and then maybe we can find a solution. So going forward, I just want to say continued prayers to you, and thank you for covering. And like you said, as soon as you heard about Abby, you tied all those together, because it's definitely a connection, definitely a bad area. And unfortunately, Megan was just talking about it, and in our hearts, that's what cost her life. So shouts out to Megan, love and memory of Megan, just for being strong enough to tell the truth and to speak, to have the courage, because she knew that what she was saying would not be well taken.
Yeah.
But she was strong enough, and she cared enough about Rhonda to speak from her heart. So shouts out and loving memory to Megan and to her family. And any way I can help you with those families, I would be glad to do so.
Oh, cool. Well, send me the email, and gosh, it was cool talking to you. Yeah, just kept going.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry. Alrighty. Good night.
Well, no.
Thank
I mean,
you,
it
guys.
was good. I mean, if I was bored, I wouldn't have still been talking to you.
All right. Well, you're not. You don't bite your tongue. So I believe that.
All right. Well,
I know you said when you opened the phone line, you was like, "Don't call saying this is a good place either." I said, "He's talking to me."
Yes, and yeah, that's right. Well,
I said, "You know what? I'm not even gonna call in."
Well, send me an email.
But I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I'm harsh, but I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Yeah. Send me an email though with those two names on it. Though, okay.
Okay, I sure will, Grant. Everyone
Right.
have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye.
God bless.
You too. Hey, who was the one that asked about Fire Tower Road? We already had Fire Tower Road on here. It's one of the two places where the fire trucks were. The body was found somewhere in here somewhere. It's not Fire Tower Road. And thank you for calling in YouTube Streets. Yeah, that's not. We already have that on the map, Mocha. See right here, Fire Tower Road, Tiffany Avenue. See right here, Tiffany Road is this dirt road here, and then it becomes Fire Tower Road after it crosses Wire Grass Road. Anyways, if you're still out there, YouTube Streets, where do you want me to do the flyby this time? I'm gonna get the hell. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired now. Give you 10 seconds. If not, I'm going to go to like... Oh, let's see. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, see, I wasn't hard on you, was I? Nope, that doesn't... Turkey, Jesus. Sending the road now? Oh, you mean the email? I just want you to send me a place you want me to travel to on the for my end of the show flyby. How about what do you think? Taos, New Mexico. There we go. Let's go there. See what that's like. Yeah, this place is cool, man. I remember. You can already tell it's cool just looking at that. Oh, but before I leave, though, I am going to say thank you to the super chats from, let's see. Now I just can't remember. Is it Canik? Richard Canik and Sarah Beth Colagros and Lanky Tor. All right, I appreciate it. And also, there was a donation yesterday from Debbie Close on PayPal. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I think I actually let me check something out. Hold on a second. Oh, and I also have a new Patreon supporter named Amy Rastad. So thank you very much. And and there's actually another one, Cindy Shaw. All right, so thank you very much for supporting me on Patreon. I guess those are new. I didn't see a couple of those until just now. Very cool, very cool. So here we go. Here comes the flyby. at the end of each of my shows. The Furious Freaks music to represent us who are the freaks who are into crimes. Oh, thank you. Another one. Kennick. So there's no 3D in this one?
Good night, Freak.
Taos, New Mexico. You guys should look up Zozobra. Yeah! All right, everybody. Thank you for showing up tonight. I guess there might be an update on ABC 15, but I won't be doing it on this show. You guys can go to that YouTube or Facebook page, whatever the hell you want to do, to go check that out yourselves, because I'm going to go to sleep right now and watch a little bit of Ray Donovan as I doze off. All right, everybody. That's all I've got for you tonight on the show. And thank you for anybody who called in, all of you. I appreciate it very much. It was fun. I stayed on an extra 45 minutes. And until next time, everybody, be safe out there.